Here we go. We're gonna record this. And let me scroll down to make sure that that you guys can hear me. How are you guys doing this evening? Hope everyone is well. Okay, awesome. Okay, here we go. Amazing. Okay, cool, guys. So here's the deal. I'm so excited to be doing this Facebook Live this evening into our Optimal Wellness group because we have so many new members in the group, folks that are on our products right now, or maybe folks that are just curious about learning more about biohacking, about really, how can we optimize our health and wellness naturally. There's certainly a place for pharmaceuticals, for urgent, acute issues, but I really look at my health, and so many others do, as an investment. We look at wanting to be proactive with regards to health as opposed to being reactive. And so what we love about the products that we represent on this page is that the fact that they are all natural and that they really help us to be proactive about our health and wellness. And you guys, I have two computers set up here. I have got my, I'm talking to you guys here, and then I have my other computer here so that I can see what your questions are. So if I look off to the side, it's simply because I'm trying to see what questions. So welcome, Lauren, and welcome, Vicki and Bridget, and I'm glad that you guys can hear me okay. That's awesome. So what I wanted to do is, for those of you guys that don't know me, why don't I give you guys a quick introduction to who I am and my background and why I became passionate about health and wellness. And then we'll, whatever questions that you have, just type them into the comments bar. And again, I'll have to look over here every once in a while to check out the comments. I wish that there was another way that I could do this. Let me see here. No, because that screen's too big. That's okay. We'll just do it this way. And so we're recording, and this webinar will be posted here on on this page here so that you can hear it. If we're answering questions that you think that other people should know the answers to, you can certainly tag them after the fact, and then we'll also have the recording available that you can send to people as well that are not part of the Optimal Wellness page. Also, I wanted to share with the fact that we always would love for you to, if you're getting value from the Optimal Wellness page, please do feel free to invite other folks to join the page. Feel free to invite them, because we are so excited to be able to share the science of what we have here that we would love for you to, we would love to be able to share it with more people. So with that said, oh, thank you, Lauren, for a lovely compliment. I appreciate that. You guys, I really wish that I could not have to turn my head that way, huh? I wish I was a little bit higher here and then over here. Huh, okay. I'm having a squirrel moment, you guys. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So, okay, who's talking to you this evening? My name is Brenda Geary, and prior to LifeVantage, my background is that I was a VP of Human Resources for a Fortune 500 company. I love being in human resources because I love helping people. I love being able to coach people and help them to achieve the best that they want to be, and I feel that I'm really good at that, and I was very successful. My passion for health and wellness comes from the fact that I was always really, really healthy. I went to the doctors once a year for my annual physical, and that was because my mother had cancer, ovarian cancer, 3 times. So I was very good about going for my annual physical. But the doctor, he was so funny because he would say, Brenda, you're my favorite patient. I see you once a year. And I think he jinxed me, you guys. I really think he jinxed me because after that, I think about like 6 months later is when I got really sick. And then after that, it was nonstop doctor appointments. So with that said, I I got sick in 2004. And I went from that person that never went to the doctors to that person that was, you know, at the hospital 4 or 5 days a week. I developed a number of issues. And so another disclaimer that I want to share as we get started is this. Our company, LifeVantage, we are in the supplement category. We're not a pharmaceutical company, and our products are not pharmaceutical drugs. So the FDA does not allow us to say that Protandim or any of our products are intended to treat, mitigate, cure, or diagnose any diseases, okay? Our flagship product, Protandim, what is FDA approved to say is that it lowers oxidative stress, an average of 40% in 30 days, and with continued use, even more. So that oxidative stress is really, really bad. It's a bad for our bodies. It literally is at the root cause of why we age and why we have age-related diseases. So I want to say that as I share my story, and as I talk about maybe some other folks' stories, or even as you guys look at the stories and testimonials of people that are on this optimal page, please understand that we're not making any claims about curing, but we're making claims that when you lower oxidative stress, the body can do the work. The body takes care of itself, and then it can lower inflammation. And we all know that inflammation is at the root cause of diseases. It's at the root cause of so many bad things. So they're all interrelated. So what we do is we lower that oxidative stress. We get our genes expressing, turning up the positive gene expression, turning down the negative gene expression, and that's what we're doing. You guys, what I'm going to do real quick is I'm actually, hi Melissa, how are you? And we got Vicky on. I'm going to run 1 second and grab something that I can lift this up so I'm not having to go back and forth, okay? Give me 1 second. I love it, guys. Okay, so here, give me 1 second. I think we may have a solution. Okay. I know you guys are you guys like laughing at me right now? Put something in the comments section right now if you are totally laughing at me right now, because I'm kind of OCD. So, okay. Love it. This is so much better. I can just look down here. Okay, so my background, corporate America, got sick, and then from literally, you guys, from 2004 to 2011, I was diagnosed with so many different issues. So I had fibromyalgia, had chronic fatigue syndrome, I had an itching disorder called autoimmune urticaria, had fatty liver disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, just the list goes on. And so many of you guys have seen me at my sickest. This was the cocktail I was on. I was literally on 24 prescription medications. And my quality of life was so compromised. And the reason I'm so passionate, and so many of us on this Facebook group are passionate, is we're passionate about having people live the best healthy life that they can. And if we have a solution that could possibly help somebody to get their life back, that's what we want to offer. So at my sickest, I just kept praying. I kept saying, I want my life back. I want my life back. And it came in the form of a young man that offered to have me, he said, will you watch an ABC Primetime investigative report that features the product I rep for? I watched it. My husband watched it. And we said, you know what? We have nothing to lose and everything to gain by giving this a shot, because I was on so many prescriptions. I was in bed 20 hours a day. Nothing else was working. And so this literally gave me my life back. So that is why I'm so passionate about sharing these products. And then I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Went through chemo, went through radiation therapy, kept taking our flagship product, Protandim here, kept taking that because I wanted to protect my healthy cells as much as possible during my chemo and radiation journey, okay? And what was interesting was that my oncologist, she said to me, Brenda, your blood work is so healthy. She said things like, your blood looks like that of a person that's been out of chemo for 8 to 12 months just because it was so healthy. So I am off of all 24 prescription medications. I am alive again, you guys. I'm up and about, and that's the gift that we have. And you guys can see in the comments section that so many people do have amazing stories. It's not about this, it's not about NRF2 being a magic pill. You guys, it's not. It's all about science. And that's why I love the fact that that LifeVantage is a science-based company. And so we're going to talk about that. I know that a couple of people have sent some questions in that we're going to address. So it's not about a magic pill. It is about science. It's about the fact that maybe 4% of our genes are coded, but we have control over 96% of our genes, and the fact that we can impact whether that negative gene expression occurs, right? And so by taking control of what we're eating, exercise, supplementing, and activating with the right tools in order to have optimal health. So let me go ahead and take a look at some of these questions. Okay, let's see here. Hey, Vanessa, thank you for joining the broadcast. And Bridget, we actually have control over 96% of our gene expression. A lot of people don't know that, and that's why on this Optimal Wellness page, we want to share science. So it's not just about hype. It literally is about bringing the science to you guys. And I know that sometimes science is tough. And I know that sometimes people just, what we have here is not mainstream. I want you guys that are listening to this to understand that. The science of nutrigenomics, the science of epigenetics, so nutrigenomics is using plant-based ingredients to impact genetic gene code expression, okay? And so a lot of people don't know that we have the ability to impact whether negative genes are expressed or not, right? Epigenetics, the same thing, is the science of gene expression. And so we're not mainstream yet, and that's why we do share the science, but it takes time for people to wrap their arms around the science. So let's see, let me get into answering some questions here. Let's see. Oh, Suzanne says that she's just like that with me. Just kind of like, I just couldn't handle turning my head that way. Okay, So this individual has a question about insomnia. She's tried everything. She can get to sleep, and then she wakes up, can't get back to sleep. Any positive stories on improved sleep quality with our products? The answer is yes. So again, we're not talking about treating, curing, or mitigating, but when you look at sleep disruption, we have had people that on Protandim, that they report that they have better sleep. On NRF, so Protandim NRF2, lowers that oxidative stress, that cellular damage. Protandim NRF1, it tells our body to make more mitochondria, and it helps to repair damaged mitochondria. So as we age, you guys, if you're listening to this information for the first time, as we age, our bodies produce less mitochondria, and our mitochondria become damaged. And the mitochondria are the powerhouse of our cells. That's where we get cellular energy, that ATP. So, and as our mitochondria become damaged, our cells aren't talking to each other. So one of the things that we have found, and that people have reported, including myself and others, and that is that when they take Protandim and Protandim NRF2 and Protandim NRF1, that they do experience better sleep, that there are a few different types of things happen, okay? They are experiencing deeper sleep, getting into that deep REM sleep, that their dreams are more vibrant, that they, like my husband, for example, he's the kind of guy that would wake up, go to the bathroom, come back, and then he couldn't get back to sleep. But what he experienced with NRF1 and NRF2 was that he would get up and go to the restroom, come back, and then he was quickly able to go back into that deep sleep, okay? So the answer is absolutely yes to helping with insomnia, okay? Let's see here. Who else has a question? Oh, Suzanne, you're so nice. Thank you. Hey, I'm so glad. Let's see here. Who else has a question? What I'm going to ask you guys to do, that as you have questions, type them in the comments section, or if you have, maybe you have a friend that you'd like to get this information in front of, maybe you've got, let's see, maybe you have somebody else that, you know, has been asking questions. Maybe you're a distributor and you know that there's some frequently asked questions that you have. We're going to address those. So in the spirit of that, I actually had a person that texted me a few questions as well. Let me pull her text up real quick. And so the question is, sometimes, you know, we talk about the fact that we are that our products are, brain freeze people, sorry, that our products are all natural. And one of the things I love about our products, you guys, is the science. It's the fact that we have that medical validation. And here's what I want you guys to understand. Most supplements don't have the body of research that we have on our supplements, especially Protandim NRF2, okay? And what I'm gonna do right now, for those of you guys that are watching, is I'm gonna take you to where you go when you wanna find out about real science. Where do doctors and researchers go to get medically validated information, okay? They go to a website called pubmed.gov. That's www.pubmed.gov. And that's literally where doctors and researchers go to get medically validated information. So I'm going to share my screen. Because you guys, the reason we're doing this is we really want to have you guys have complete confidence in what you're taking with our products, okay? So here we are. Hope you guys can see that on the screen. So this website, pubmed.gov, and I know that there's a lag between what I'm doing here and when it shows up here. Okay, it's showing up there for you guys. Okay, so this website, pubmed.gov, if you type in oxidative stress, and oxidative stress is, again, like I said before, at the root cause, and it's been recognized at the root cause of how we age and why we have age and how we get age-related diseases, how we develop age-related diseases. If you go to pubmed.gov and you type in oxidative stress, you guys, you're gonna see that there are over 186,000 studies that talk about how oxidative stress is bad for the body, okay? And I'm not suggesting that you come to PubMed and start becoming a mini scientist. I just want you to know that this website exists, and that just by connecting the dots, the fact that there are over 186,000 studies that talk about how bad oxidative stress is, that it is a bad player with regards to your health, okay? And so when people say, well, can Protandim NRF2 potentially help with a particular issue? Well, what I then recommend is you type in oxidative stress and let's say cancer, okay? Is oxidative stress linked to cancer? Well, guess what? There are over 21,000 studies that talk about how oxidative stress and cancer are linked. So again, I'm not a doctor, but what I would suggest is that if they're linked, wouldn't lowering oxidative stress be a good idea? And the same thing applies to, you know, hey, can it help with my, you know, will it help or have an impact on rheumatoid arthritis or Alzheimer's or, you know, high blood pressure? I don't know. Let's always go to pubmed.gov, type in oxidative stress and whatever condition you're interested in, and you're going to find out if there's a relationship. And then the fact that Protandim NRF2 lowers that by, you know, 40% in 30 days is a good thing. And then the other thing to answer Michelle's question is, so what makes Protandim different than so many other things out there on the market? And I do see people typing in some other questions. I'll make sure that I answer those, okay? So, oopsie. Oxidative, we're gonna just type in Protandim, okay? What makes Protandim unique? Protandim NRF2. So, One of the things I love about Protandim NRF2 is the science. So in that website where doctors and researchers go to get medically validated information, if you type in Protandim, you're going to see that there are 23 peer-reviewed research papers that validate the efficacy of Protandim, okay? And the reason we have 23 studies is that there was, it's like if you type in other supplements you might be taking, you're not going to find peer-reviewed research on it, okay? And of the 23 studies, three were funded by the company because those were the initial studies, okay? So sometimes people will say, one of the questions that I received today from Michelle was, why, how many of the studies were funded by the company? Of the 23, 3 of the first ones were, and that was because that was the initial science. That was, the product had just come out. The company was doing the human trial. They were looking at the science of it, the validation of it, everything else, you guys. American Heart Association, the longevity study that says that Protandim is the only supplement that has been proven to extend lifespan. That was done by the Institute of Aging in conjunction with the National Institute of Health, okay? And Virginia Commonwealth, the American Heart Association. They were interested enough because they know how powerful oxidative stress is and how it's linked to disease that they funded their own studies, okay? And even Harvard. And you guys, those prestigious research institutions would not be spending their money on studying snake oil. They just wouldn't be doing it. So Protandim, if you type in Protandim into the search bar, you're gonna get that there are the 23 studies. There's no other supplement, period, that has this number of peer-reviewed. Other supplement companies will say, oh, we've got clinical studies, we've got studies, but the gold standard of medical validation is peer review. So what I say whenever somebody asks me questions, and we've had doctors say this, is that when someone says, hey, well, my supplement does whatever, let's type it into PubMed and let's see what it does. Someone asked me to type in, let's see here, oxidative stress. And let's see, and kidney disease. Kidney. This is what you guys get when we do something live. Okay, so you guys, here for this person here, there are over 8,800 studies that talk about oxidative stress and kidney disease. So again, not being a doctor, but I think it's a good idea to lower oxidative stress, okay? That would be a really, really good idea. And then the other thing I want to show you guys is NRF2. We talk about the fact that Protandim is an NRF2 activator. It activates this pathway in the body that was discovered around 1992. And that pathway, by a totally independent research paper, it was not done by LifeVantage. It was done by 2 doctors at Washington State University. And these 2 doctors at Washington State University, they looked at the body of work of NRF2, okay? And in their research findings, they state that they believe that we may be on the verge of literature on the health effects of activating NRF2 that may be the most therapeutic and preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. NRF2 activation is huge, and it is not mainstream yet, okay? That idea of being able to activate this pathway, you can do it naturally with Protandim, or there are at least 10 pharmaceutical companies that are chasing down the science of activating that pathway with pharmaceuticals. And what we know so far is that Protandim is the most potent NRF2 activator on the market, okay? So let me type in NRF2 here, okay? I'm just doing this to kind of establish a baseline here. So a few years ago, there were just a handful of studies on NRF2. I mean, you can see here, the very first study was in 1994, okay? Look at this curve right here, guys. You can tell that something's a big deal when you see that hockey stick curve that is here. and the number of research papers. So you go from 1 here, 6 here, 53 here, bam, 1,800 here in that calendar year, and here we are in 2018, and we already have 438. Okay. Let me see here. Okay, let's see. Let me answer some more questions here. So anyways, let me go ahead and get off of here, stop sharing, so I can go back to answering some more questions. But you guys, I wanted to take the time to go onto PubMed.gov briefly, just so that you could see how the fact that, NRF2 specifically has so much research and it's such a big deal. And so if you ever have any questions, again, just reach out to the folks on this page and they're gonna be able to help you out. Let me answer some more questions. Okay. So in what order do we take, let's see, actually, I'll see Mary here real quick. Mary Boiler. How are you, beautiful? Does it matter if we take NRF2 in the AM and NRF2 in the PM? It doesn't matter, okay? Everybody's different. We have some people that most people are going to take 1 NRF2 a day, okay? That's the little yellow pill. We refer to it as the little yellow pill. Most people will take 1 a day. But Dr. McCord said, especially for people that have significant health issues, that 2 a day was more of a therapeutic dosage. So if you're okay for the most part, don't have really any issues, 1 a day is fine. Whether you take it in the morning or at night is completely up to you, depending on a few factors, but you should definitely take it with food because Protandim NRF2 is fat soluble, okay? So taking it with food is most effective. Some people take it in the morning. Some people take it at night. Some folks have tried to take it at night just because they're busy, but then they find that it gives them a boost of energy. So again, everyone's body's different. So if taking it in the morning works for you, that's when you should take it. If you want to take it at night and it doesn't make you stay awake, then take it at night. I actually take 2 Protandim a day, 2 Protandim NRF2 a day. And I have from the very beginning because I was a really, really sick individual. So I take 1 in the morning, I take 1 at night. If a person's going to take 2 Protandim NRF2 a day, it's important to not take them both at the same time. They're going to take 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening, at least 8 to 10 hours apart. And there's science to that, okay? The doctors say that what you're doing is you're actually flipping that NRF2 switch twice, okay? You're not taking 2 at the same time. So as it relates to, let's see, where can you, okay, so NRF1. So when do you take NRF2, NRF1? Okay, so NRF2 is lowering that oxidative stress, clearing out that cellular damage. NRF1 is activating your body's production of mitochondria. The best way to take it is to take them at least half an hour apart. Dr. Chevereau, our chief science officer, says that optimally taking them separate is better, at least half an hour apart. So with food and then half an hour apart. She said that, that's optimal, but you guys, at the end of the day, she said that, hey, if you forget, if your schedule doesn't allow for it, she goes, just get the pills in your body. So there are people that take these 2 together and they are happy campers and with no issues. I actually take my NRF2, well, again, like I said, I take 1 in the morning, 1 at night. And then I actually take my NRF1 at night because for me, I actually take 3 because I got a lot of mitochondrial damage, you guys, with having cancer and all those other issues that I had. And so I take this at night, and I do separate it 30 minutes from the Protandim when I take it, okay? But again, Dr. Chevereau, her biggest thing that she said was simply make sure that you get it into your body, whatever it takes, okay? Let's see here. What order to take NRF1, NRF2 probiotic? Okay, so probiotic should be taken on an empty stomach for best efficacy, okay? Again, if you're super busy and you can't take it separately, then just get it into you, okay? But the best way to take this, per Dr. Chevereau, who's got amazing credentials, is to take it on an empty stomach. So here's what I do. I always have water next to my bed, and I have my bottle of ProBio next to my bed. And so when I get up to go to the bathroom in the evening, if it's like, like early morning, and I know I'm not going to eat breakfast till later, what I do is I just quickly grab my 3 ProBio caps, the pills, and then I just take a swig of water, I get it into me, and then I go back to sleep. For some people, they get up, they've got their different routines, but again, you take it on an empty stomach if possible. So with food, you can take this with food, but this one is the one that you should take on an empty stomach if at all possible, okay? Let's see here. What other questions do you guys have here? Let me talk to you guys about, until you guys add any more questions, let me tell you guys why Protandim, what makes our probiotic different, okay? So our probiotic, there are 3 elements that make it different from most probiotics on the market, okay? A lot of times people are, you hear these commercials, they say, eat your yogurt, or people will say, oh, I have a liquid probiotic, or, I take a capsule, and it's got, 50 colony forming units, CFUs in it, and they're super happy with their probiotic. Okay, and again, I'm not a doctor, but because of being in the company, because of my passion for health and wellness, our researchers share a lot of information. And then, so what I learned was this: most probiotics don't even get to your gut. They don't get to your large and small intestine. And why is that? One of the reasons is because when we take our probiotic, our stomach acids actually kill most of the probiotic. So maybe only 5 or 6% of those bacteria that you're taking are actually getting to your gut, to your large and small intestine. And so what we've learned, and actually you can even Google this, you guys, I'm serious. One of the things that we have in our probiotic is this technology. It's a patented technology. It's called BioTrack, okay? And BioTrack, what it does is it encapsulates the healthy bacteria, and it actually is able to survive the stomach acids, and at least 60% of the healthy bacteria gets into your gut. Okay, so that's number 1. You want to have it encapsulated. And if you Google BioTrack technology, there are actually videos out there, because again, the evolution of wellness, and there are always, like I say, technological advancements. We have technological advancements that take people from, using typewriters to computers, or from using rotary phones to cell phones. Well, mainstream has been just take your liquid probiotics, but now we're finding that that's not effective, okay? And so taking the probiotic with BioTrack is really important. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, your probiotic should be time released, because what happens is you want it to go from the top of the intestines down to the lower colon. And so it should be time released. And that's the second thing that makes ours unique, is that it's time released over a 12-hour period, okay? Dropping off different strains of the bacteria. We have 6 strains of in our probiotic. And then the third thing that makes our probiotic unique is the fact that it's got this other patented technology called Wellmune. Okay, it's got Wellmune in it, and Wellmune is an immune system enhancer. Okay, 80%, you guys may not know this, but 80% of our overall immune health starts in our gut. A healthy gut equals a healthy body. And so having the BioTrack, making sure that you're going to get most of the healthy bacteria to your gut, having it time released, and then secondly, having Wellmune. And if you Google Wellmune, And actually there is a, if you use the search bar, because I know Lauren Hanna, one of our other administrators, she posted some really awesome information about Wellmune and all the research that has, I think it was either Lauren or Bridget, that talks about why Wellmune is so important to our health, okay? So let's see here. So those 3 things here, okay? You guys, I hope you guys remember that, because guess what? We're gonna be giving away this ProBio. And why don't we do this right now? Okay, this is kind of fun. I know that Lauren's an expert at doing these online promotion types of things, but I want the very first person to type in to the comments, what are the 3 things that make our ProBio unique, is gonna win this bottle. What are the 3 factors that make the LifeVantage Probiotic unique? Type that into the comments section. Bridget is gonna be helping me out. And so she is gonna help me figure out who the winner of this is, okay? Let me go back to questions here. Okay, so how do we ensure product quality? So at LifeVantage, we follow the good manufacturing processes. And what's really unique about LifeVantage, there's actually a video where our operations manager talks about the process for the manufacturing, but we're approved by the Banned Substances Control Group, and we're NSF certified. And what that means is that every single batch that's released of our product, of Protandim NRF1 and NRF2, that they are, that batch is checked. So we follow good manufacturing processes, which is the standard, but then we go even a higher level, you guys. This is a big deal. Did you know that there are only like 40 branded supplements on the market that are approved by the Banned Substances Control Group? That means that athletes, premier athletes, Olympic athletes, and we do have Olympic athletes that take Protandim because it's approved by the Banned Substances Control Group, and they can take it without the fear of testing positive for performance enhancing drugs, okay? So the fact that, you know, from a quality control perspective, we have the Banned Substances seal. Hope you guys can see that. It's kind of bright. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Mary says, can you talk a little bit about, does Protandim NRF2 affect, oh, here we go. Does Protandim NRF2 affect brain activation at all, or is it just Axio? Great question, Michael Henney. It is both. So there are a lot of brain issues, so neurological issues that are impacted by Protandim NRF2, okay? And it's lowering that oxidative stress. So if you go to PubMed and you type in, you know, like different brain issues, you know, neurological issues, Parkinson's, you know, Alzheimer's, dementia, those types of things, you're gonna find that oxidative stress is linked to those issues. So as a core, you know, sometimes people will say, well, do I gotta take everything? You know, I actually believe very strongly that this is called the Vitality Stack. This is the core of what everyone should be taking. Why? Because you're lowering oxidative stress. That's why we age and we get age-related diseases. You're lowering that by 40% in 30 days. Mitochondria. As we age, our bodies make less mitochondria. We have less cellular energy. This is going to tell your body to naturally start making more mitochondria, and it's going to help to repair the mitochondria. 80% of our immune system starts with our gut. So ProBio is that foundation for gut health. And then having a healthy omega to help with brain function and heart function is really important, okay? So to answer your question, Michael, this should be core. A Gladstone Institute article came out at the end of 2016. And in that article, it was doctors, again, not LifeVantage, but there were doctors that were talking about the most exciting advancement that they've seen in medicine as it relates to hopefully treating and preventing Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, Huntington's, and ALS was activating the NRF2 pathway, okay? So that's what this does, you guys, and it does it naturally. There are 10 pharmaceutical companies that are chasing down the science of activating this pathway synthetically. There are 2 studies that have been sponsored where Protandim NRF2 was compared head-to-head with the first NRF2 activator for multiple sclerosis. Is called Tecfidera. You guys have probably seen the commercials. It costs $54,000 a year. In a head-to-head comparison, because the researcher was paid for by the pharmaceutical company to take a look at how strong Tecfidera was compared to other NRF2 activators on the market. You guys, broccoli is a mild NRF2 activator, not anything compared to this, right? So in his study that was presented at the Multiple Sclerosis Conference, he stated that, interestingly, Protandim, an all-natural supplement, was the most potent NRF2 activator and may be the most suited for therapy. Okay, so Tecfidera has tons of side effects, and then you have Protandim without side effects. And then there's another study that's on PubMed. One of the 23 studies on PubMed is another study that validates Protandim, okay? So then Axio is liquid brain food, okay? So Axio is NRF2 for the brain. It helps with mental focus, mental concentration, mental clarity, cognition. And with all of our products, it's really important to understand that, you know, the damage to your cells has happened over a long period of time. And our products are helping, but it takes time. So when someone says to me, well, I'm going to give it a shot for 30 days, don't waste your time. Dr. McCord says literally that a person, because of, you know, cellular damage inside, that a person needs to take Protandim at least 1 month for every decade of life if they're going to give it a shot, okay? We actually tell people, you know what, give it 3 or 4 months. Give us 90 days. Give us 120 days, putting it in your body. And then when you start taking it, especially for, you know, for folks that are healthy, why do you want to take this? Why do you supplement? Well, you supplement because you want to be healthy. You supplement because you're trying to be proactive about your health. So healthy people may not feel anything at all, okay? But you're taking it because you know that the science says it's lowering that oxidative stress. We know that that taking a good probiotic is important. You may not feel anything. Sometimes healthy people say, I sleep better, I wake more rested, I don't have that afternoon slump. But it's more typical for folks that have significant issues like, you know, the arthritis or other types of issues, that they're going to feel something because part of the, you know, there are 7 US patents on Protandim NRF2. You can't patent ashwagandha, or you can't patent green tea or milk thistle, but what you can patent is what it does in the body. You can patent what it does. And so part of the patents, I think 3 or 4 of the patents, are that it lowers inflammation. So that's part of our patents. And I know that when I was at my sickest, my inflammation markers were really, really high, and they went down significantly. And I want to say that, you know, CRP, high sensitivity, that's a measure of overall body inflammation. At my, on that blood test, 0 is good, 4.9 is high. Like, that was the high end of the spectrum. Mine was 15.3. Okay, so when folks are suffering from like lupus and arthritis and other inflammatory issues, that's a player in it, right? On Protandim, 2 a day for 3 months. My doctor checks me again, and then 2.7. Okay, so it's going to lower that inflammation, and that's a big deal. So Michael, I hope I answered your question about these. So this is Protandim, and then this is Axio, which is the liquid brain food. It is, somebody calls it the executive brain function food. I don't know, I just call it brain food. So the winner of, our winner for the ProBio is Suzanne Gardenhire. So congratulations to you, Suzanne. This is fun. I love giving free stuff away. Okay, so let's see. Hope that you guys are finding this helpful. Put a comment below if you find that this information is helpful. I'm just going to keep on going as long as folks have questions. And okay, so the new Omega. This is the Omega Plus. A lot of folks are taking Omegas, and a lot of them have omega-6. And one of the things that Dr. Chevreau talked about is that people take, that we get a lot of omegas in our food naturally, and that in fact most people are overdoing it on omega-6, and that oftentimes when you look at your omega, you guys, that it's used as a filler, okay? What we really need is omega-3, which is what's in this product here, okay? It's got omega-3. And again, I love our company being on the forefront of science, because how many of you guys know about omega-7? If you don't know about omega-7, your homework is to go to Google Scholar and to search omega-7. Go to Google Scholar, because Google Scholar takes away all the junk. It takes away the bloggers. It's only validated information. So type in omega, and you're going to find it's got some amazing stuff to say about omega and what it does for the body. So I love that Dr. Chevreau put omega-7 into this product, because again, once again, we're being ahead of the curve with our formulation. And then the other thing that's in this product is vitamin D3. So D3 is super, super important. And this is just a public service announcement. You guys, most people are vitamin D deficient. Okay? So if you are feeling sluggish and you can't think and you don't have energy, have your doctor check your vitamin D levels. Okay? That's really important. And I love that those 3 elements are here. Okay, another thing about our omega is, have you ever had a person say to you that they don't like taking an omega because they burp fish oil? They don't like that fishy smell when they burp, or if they burp it. Well, what I love about ours is that it has lemon lime in it, and it doesn't taste fishy at all. What I love about this as well is that actually on the bottom of it, you could, what makes our omega unique is that you can actually track this bottle from boat to bottle. Like literally from what boat, where it was in the ocean when they harvested the fish for it, okay? And the freshness, you know, and the process of what they use to harvest it, it's trackable. And so we have had people, literally, you guys, I will cut one of these and put it on my tongue, just to show people that it's like, it's not fishy at all. And you should know that if your omega tastes fishy, it's rancid. If you're burping fishiness, it's rancid. What I love about this one is that it's not, it literally, you guys, if you're on this, slice it, put it on your tongue, it's just lemon lime. It's pretty cool. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Miss Mary. Is there anything other than the NRF2 Axio combo that people use in finding success with ADD, ADHD? Okay, and there's another question on, Mary has the same, you know, a different question, but along the same lines of, if I have a customer with a child with autism issues, should they be taking Axio or just Protandim? Okay, so let's talk about ADD, ADHD, autism. So we work with a lot of doctors, and what the doctors say at the autism centers is that in order to address the issues of autism, okay, folks on the spectrum, you need to do a few things. You need to lower oxidative stress. Protandim is lowering that oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days, and with continued use, up to 70% in 120 days. For folks on the spectrum, for kids on the spectrum and adults on the spectrum, you need to lower inflammation. Protandim lowers inflammation. Another critical thing for folks on the spectrum is that you increase glutathione. Protandim increases intracellular production of glutathione by 300%. When folks are trying to consume glutathione supplements or they're having glutathione injections or pushes, those are just not effective, okay? When you are able to do it intracellularly, that's so much more effective. So Protandim, and there's a peer-reviewed study that says that Protandim increases intracellular production of glutathione by 300%. So we're addressing that. The other thing with folks on the spectrum is that they have mitochondrial dysfunction. The mitochondria of kids on the spectrum they have issues with it. So NRF2 is going to help with that, okay? NRF2 is going to help with that. And then kids on the spectrum, they have gut issues. They have tons of gut issues. So Probio is going to help with that, okay? So definitely these, and then definitely Axio. We find that kids on the spectrum do great on Axio because it really helps with that mental focus, mental concentration. It penetrates the blood-brain barrier. So let me give you a couple examples here. And again, I'm not making any claims of treating, mitigating, curing, but I'm just saying that if these are the needs that kids on the autism spectrum have, then our products address that. So we have amazing CJ that lives in Phoenix. And his, he could say 5 or 10 words prompted before our products. He was introduced to our products, and he was taking Protandim, Axio. He couldn't take, some of the kids on the spectrum can't swallow the round pills, so we just recommend that you find a really good probiotic that they can take in, because that's really important. And then for the NRF1, what parents do is they actually open up the capsule and they just pour the little BDs into whatever they're going to put it into, either smoothie or yogurt or applesauce. But if kids on the spectrum can't swallow pills, what we recommend that you do is you crush the pill, and then you just stick it in yogurt or applesauce or smoothie, whatever it takes. And you guys, I don't have a child on the spectrum, but I have a lot of friends that have kids on the spectrum taking our products with amazing results. I mean, CJ's life has been changed. He's in a regular school now. He's got friends. The interaction in the family is so different. I think about Luke, Carrie's son, and Luke, he's thriving. And so the importance of taking Axio is that Luke had been taking Protandim because he was diagnosed with autism at the age of 2. But even so, he was at the bottom of his class. But when they introduced Axio, he went from the bottom of the class to the top of the class from knowing his alphabet letter recognition. So what we have here is such a powerful tool for the kids, you guys. I actually did a webinar with Camille Miles. It is in Optimal Wellness. So if you want that webinar, comment me below in the comments section, and we'll make sure that we tag you on the webinar, because Camille is a pharmacist. And she shares her story, and we go through why these products are so important for kids on the autism spectrum. Also, I think I did a webinar on Axio, specifically only on Axio. It's in Optimal Wellness as well. So comment me below and specifically say that you want the Axio webinar, that you want to be tagged on it, and we'll tag you on the Axio webinar, okay? I hope that is helpful. So, Mary, the child should be taking, for sure, Protandim and Axio. And you guys, I want to address this issue right now. And that is that, what if it's not in my budget? Okay? So, what I say is this. I'm going to always recommend the best solution, okay, because of the science and what we've just reviewed. But if it's not in a parent's budget, we respect that. And so we'll give you alternative suggestions. So if a person doesn't have the budget of this, okay, and this is $149 a month, okay, then you know what? Maybe they can afford this and this, right? Or maybe they can afford the Axio and Protandem, you know? This is $40 a month, this is $50 a month. Maybe they can afford that instead. So, you know, just whoever invited you on this Facebook group page, just ask them for what your options are. But honestly, you guys, I really believe that Protandem is so critical, and then Axio, and then probiotics. So, but hey, baby steps, okay, baby steps. And I also know, because we get this a lot, and that is that kids on the spectrum can be really tough to get the products into, okay? We just recommend to parents that they play with it, okay? Try to disguise it. Some people put the NRF2 in yogurt. Some people put it in applesauce. Some people actually make chocolates, and they put sprinkles of the probiotic, of the NRF2 in it, and the child thinks they're eating a treat. That's working for them. Sometimes kids don't like the flavor. Sometimes kids on the spectrum don't like the taste of Axio. You gotta play with it. One of the things that you can do is you can try to cut the taste with lemon, okay? Some folks that say, ooh, wow, this, it's all natural, but they don't like the taste, right, the kids. So cut it with lemon. Find a drink that your child, if you have a child on the autism spectrum, find a drink that the child does like. And then what the parents do sometimes is that they slowly introduce sprinkles of the Axio into that drink. A little at a time, building up a little at a time, until the child is eventually drinking, you know, half a stick, a whole stick, okay? So that's really important. But play with it and don't give up, because on the other side of having to be really super creative is a child that can potentially get their life back and improve the quality of life for the entire family, okay? Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, let's see here. Hope that you guys are getting value here. Let's see. Suzanne, yeah. So, yep, Bridget says that her anxiety and heart palpitations calm down with NRF2 activation. And if you put Bridget Marchand into the search bar, you will see that she shares her testimonial live, okay? Google Scholar, yep. Yes, most people in the US are vitamin D deficient. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, you guys are so amazing with great questions. Yeah, lowering the inflammation for you with respect to lymphedema is going to be huge. That's going to be great. Let's see. Does anybody have any other questions? Any other questions? Axio webinar. Yep. Any other questions? Okay, so I'm going to give away an Omega. Okay? And so the question is, for the free Omega, the question is, what are the 3 key ingredients in Omega? What makes it different from the others? What are the 3 key pieces? What are 3 ingredients that make it unique? Put that in the comment section, and Bridget's gonna help me to select the first person to get that in there, okay? You get to have the Omega. Yeah, Catherine, the idea of just building it up over time to get the Omega into their bodies is really important. Yeah. Okay, so what are the 3 things? Kesley, you're missing one. 3 things. There you go. There you go. Yep. I see it there now. Okay. Yep. Awesome. Okay, so I'll let Bridget, she'll be able to see who actually got it done first. I think that it was Kesley, but Bridget will be my final judge. Okay, so Protandem NRF2. I just want to talk about that real quick. 5 plant ingredients, and it's the synergy of the 5 plant ingredients that activate the NRF2 messenger. So what's in Protandim? Protandim is made up of ashwagandha, which is a brain calmer, okay? Milk thistle, which improves your metabolism. I'm sorry, it's a liver detoxifier. So ashwagandha, milk thistle, bacopa, which is a flowering plant, and it helps to activate those the antioxidant enzymes, SOD. We've got green tea, and we've got turmeric. And so sometimes we have do-it-yourselfers. We have people that are do-it-yourselfers, and they say, well, you know what? I take turmeric already, or I take green tea. I'll just make my own Protandim. The reason we have 7 US patents is because it's the specific ratio, the specific formulation that we have in very small amounts that activate that NRF2 messenger, that literally is the synergy of those 5 plant ingredients together that make the product 18 times more effective than if you were just to consume those individual ingredients alone. So that is a big deal, the fact that it's the synergy of those 5 plant ingredients, okay? I want you guys to know that. And, you know, Harvard and, you know, a doctor at Mayo Clinic defended his dissertation. And he defended his dissertation on using Protandim as a nutraceutical approach to treating ovarian cancer. For anybody that's interested in that study, if you go to the files, you're going to find that in the files section, okay? So do we have a winner for do we have a winner? Kesley got it? Okay, so Miss Kesley, you have a bottle of Pro Omega coming your way. You guys, this is our first time doing this. I hope that you guys have had value. Comment below, comment in the comment section, and let me know if you've gotten value from this. If there's somebody that is not on this webinar this evening on this Facebook Live, and you think that they really missed an opportunity, then tag them when we're done and really suggest that they watch the replay, okay? But what I want to do is I plan on doing this more often. So I hope that you guys have gotten value from the webinar. And so we talked about the, this is what's called the Vitality Stack, okay? It's these 4 pieces. Again, there's a video on the Vitality Stack. If you go to search, and if you go to the search function and put in Vitality Stack, you're gonna learn about why those are so core. Do you guys know that we have over 750 doctors that have become, that have gotten involved in LifeVantage and that promote the products? Why? It's because of the science. It's because of the efficacy of what we have on our hands here. So, and in fact, in the Vitality video, there's doctors that are talking about why they have partnered with the company because, again, the science. It's 1,800 times, 18 times more effective. Same thing. Yep. First webinar. Hope that you got value. And I don't even know how to say your name. And Mikey. I apologize if I butchered your name. I'm really sorry. Oh my gosh. I'm glad it was very informative. So last product that's being given away. For those of you guys that stay to the very end, we have a bottle of Protandim for you. So if you, in the comments section, can list the 5 ingredients that make up Protandim, you're going to win a bottle of Protandim NRF2. So in the comments section, list the 5 plant ingredients, okay? So whoever wants to win this bottle of Protandim. So you guys, I just want to say thank you again for hopping on this evening. I appreciate your taking the time. I'm a member of another Facebook group, and one of the things that they do every Sunday night is they actually have live Q&A. And I was like, wow, this is really cool, because I jump in and I'm asking questions, or I'm reading other people's questions, and I'm just listening to the replay. And I thought, you know what, we should do that here. So you guys can expect to have more of that here. The other thing that we're doing is that we are, we're going to, we share stories. We want to build your belief in what we have. We want to have you see who's actually excited about what we have. So we're going to do a five-week doctor series, or a 5-week professional doctor series, another practitioner series. And it's going to start either this Wednesday or next Wednesday. And for 5 weeks in a row, we're going to bring to you on a weekly basis a medical professional that's going to come into our page, and you're going to be able to ask. He's going to, he or she will share information, and you're going to be able to ask questions. So we have so far lined up an acupuncturist, we have a chiropractor that's lined up, we have a physical therapist that's lined up, and we have a nutritionist that's lined up so far. So that's something that you can look forward to. And Vicki, Miss Vicki, you just won this here. Awesome. Congratulations. Congratulations, Kesley. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Sandra, for your feedback. Absolutely. I appreciate your feedback. So yeah, awesome doctor lineup that we have coming up. So, hey guys, thank you for your time this evening. If you've gotten value from this, please tag some of your friends that are in this private Facebook group. If you've got friends that you think should hear this information, please invite them to join this Optimal Wellness community, and we'll get them approved as quickly as possible. With that said, have a wonderful evening, and have a fantastic week. Take care, guys.